2 innings for Nick tomorrow? Is that plan? The other guys following him, or is it the same?
Maybe it could end up being 6.
You've got some, like the bullpen places, the place or places that are available. Are any of these kind of starter types in the mix for maybe as a swingman, or how do you view that? I know it's early, but like
For sure, yeah. When you have a 6-man rotation, 7-man bullpen, and some days somebody's going to have to wear it for a few innings, and that probably needs to be a spot that you can flip out some. So whether it's guys with, options, whether it's starters, anything's open.
What's your lineup or not lineup, your starting pitcher lineup for the weekend? Saturday, Sunday?
Lugo, Tehran.
is that Lugo Saturday?
Yes. And we'll have some lives with, we'll get some of these bullpen guys started a little bit later, our main guys.
What have you seen from Seth that, like, he's making the transition starters? He's been really effective as a reliever. Why will that stuff play in a starting role?
Yeah, I think he has more pitches than he probably used in relief. I think he's excited about being able to throw some pitches maybe that he tried to streamline more so in a relief role, to where you're only out there for, an inning, I think it was only 60-some innings for him last year, which is not a lot for him. But I think he's always wanted to start, from what he's told me, and he has the pitch repertoire to do it, so he's excited.
With the outfield spot on the opening day roster, at least until Fernando comes back, the options like Dahl, Azokar, what are the attributes you're looking for potentially that position in a player?
Look, speed, dynamic, whether it's a lefty or righty, depending on the rest of the composition. Certainly, health's going to play a part in what the roster looks like at the end. You can say all you want right now about what you think it's going to look like, but typically it changes during spring. How much Carpenter's going to play, is a left-handed bat on the bench more, so there are a lot of things that play into it. But we do have some depth. I mean, Engel's a little bit behind, but, he's a guy that plays that role too. He can play center field well. He's a good defender. He can pinch run too. So there are a lot of guys that we'll look at for that spot, but right now, I that's about as succinct as I can be for you.
How much have you checked out the new schedule? A little more travel for you guys, and what effect do you think that might have?
I think it's just I haven't looked at the travel schedule for other teams, but there are a couple ones that look fairly challenging. I think we go from Chicago to Mexico and come home without a day off. So there's the one thing about being in the West, we typically get the short end of it regardless. We travel more miles, so maybe we're a little bit more used to it than maybe some of the other teams.
Get your off days on the road versus
Yeah,
home.
I don't love that.
Yeah.
I like off days in San Diego.
Is it that, it's always a grind? 162, 81 on the road, it's always a grind. Do you think it'll really be that big of a difference to go to the Central and the East a little bit more than normal?
I don't.
Okay.
I know we have 2 New York trips, separate New York trips, and they're both fairly early, I think, in the schedule. I know we don't have an off day at home until May, into May. That's not ideal, but I think everybody's going to have a few more challenges as far as travel, and we're a little more, like I said, we're probably more used to it.
True Bogarts is willing to bat pretty much anywhere in your lineup except second.
I joke about it yesterday, and that the only 2 spots that are for sure are Soto 2 and Manny 3. It might not even look like that tomorrow. So we'll figure it out as we go along. But really, once Fernando comes back, you could pick 1, 2, 3, 4 out of a hat. But a lot of it probably comes with comfortability, and so we'll see where it goes.
You're going to factor in. You've talked about Fernando needing to balance maybe that base
Yeah.
running, base stealing. Putting him up top would kind of encourage him to run, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but let's see how he gets there first, because he's going to have a bunch of games leading up. So, all this is you try to work out in your head right now, but each and every day affects what it might look like a little bit later on.
There's no world in which Soto would hit first, given his on-base percentage. That's off the table.
As of right now, yeah. I don't think that's a spot he would particularly enjoy. So, and we have some other guys who can do that.
And 2 is obviously like good on-base percentage in the 2 spots, almost the same thing, right?
2's the new 3, right? But we also want guys to be comfortable.